This is the homework helper for Chapter 8, Section 9 in the 8th grade textbook where we're studying spheres. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first 12 questions here. We're going to cover 1 through 3 and 7 through 9. You'll use the same approaches in 4 through 6 and 10 through 12 that you see with their partner questions. In the first 6 questions there, they're asking us to find the volume of the sphere. So, of course, what we need there is the formula right away. It's the same formula that you saw in class today, 4/3 pi r cubed. We're going to multiply together 4/3, which we're going to do is 4 divided by 3, and pi, which is 3.14, and whatever the radius cubed works out to be. And, of course, we'll do that part first because of the order of operations. So if we start with number 1, the radius is 9. So it's 4/3 times pi, which I'm just writing as pi right now because right here they're asking us to write the answer in terms of pi. So I'm going to write it as pi and write an answer with pi, and then I'm going to change pi to 3.14 and then solve that guy. And I've got to multiply that by 9 cubed. Well, 9 cubed is the equivalent of 729. 9 times 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Times 7 again is how I get 729. So I'm going to multiply that by the 4/3, and the way you can do that on the calculator if you're stuck is you're going to multiply by 4 and get an answer, and then divide by 3, and that's 972. So 972 pi. 972 times pi, first answer. And then you're going to take pi and change it to 3.14. So 972 times 3.14, and that's going to yield a result of 3,052.08. But the directions say round to the nearest tenth, so that's going to be 3,052.1. And both of those, it doesn't matter which one it is going to have to be feet cubed. All right, if we take a look at number 2, same formula, but r now is 21. So this is 4/3 times pi times 21 cubed. All right, so I'm going to start off, I'm going to do that 21 cubed, 21 times 21 times 21, which is a really big answer, 9261. And then I'm going to multiply by 4 and then divide by 3, and that's 12,348. So 12,348 pies. And then I'm going to take that 12,348 and multiply by 3.14, and that's 38,772. And we're going to have to round just a smidge because after that comes 0.72, but we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so that's 0.7, and that's all meters cubed. All right, and then we'll take a look at number 3. Now notice what's different about number 3 is they gave us the diameter. Well, we don't want the diameter, we want the radius. So if the diameter is 30, that means the radius here is 15. And once I have the radius, I have what I need for my formula. So it's 4/3 times pi, which is eventually going to change into 3.14, times 15 cubed. Well, 15 times 15, that should give me 225, times 15 again is 3375. And I'm going to multiply that by the 4/3. Again, you can multiply by 4 and then divide by 3. That's 4,500. So that's 4,500 pies. And then I'm going to simplify that with 4,500 times 3.14. And that's 14,130. 14,130 centimeters. And again, approach 4, 5, and 6 in the same way. Notice that in number 4 it's the diameter, but in 5 and 6 it's the radius that we want. All right, now if we go back down to the bottom here and look at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, all of those are the radius. So we just need to plug the number into the formula here. but we of course need to start off with the different formula. The formula for surface area. Surface area formula is 4 pi r squared. A little bit easier of a formula to work with. So in number 7, that's going to be 4 times pi times 6.2 squared. In number 8, that's going to be 4 times pi times 10 squared. Most of you probably have that one right off the top of your head. And in number 9, it's going to be 4 times pi times 12 squared. Well, let's start with number 7, the tricky one. We've got 6.2 squared there. 6.2 times 6.2. That's going to give me 38.44. And then I'm multiplying that by 4, and that's 153.76. And I haven't touched pi yet because we're going to write our answer with pi again, just like we did up here in 1 through 3. So that's 153.76 pi's. Now, if you're saying, why didn't you round that to the 10th? Well, that's not a final answer. Remember, when we multiply it by 3.14, then I can round to the 10th like the directions say. But that's an exact answer. We're not at that stage there where we can do that. Now when I do 153.76 times 3.14, that's going to give me 482.8064. Now we can round that to the nearest 10, which is going to give me 482.8. And that's feet squared. All right, number 8, 10 squared in the back there. Order of operations first, that's 100. Times 4 in the front is 400, so that's 400 pi's. This is the same as 400 times 3.14. And that's 1256 even, so I don't even have to round that one. And that's going to be centimeters squared. And then in number 9, we've got 12 squared in the back end, which is 144, times the 4 in the front. That's going to give me 576, so that's 576 pi's. So that's the same as 576 times 3.14. And that's 1808.64. We're going to round to 1808.6, and that's going to be inches squared. And again, proceed the same way with 10, 11, and 12.